Welcome to my first edition of installing things on my cars that you guys bought me by clicking on my Amazon links in the description. Today I'm going to be installing window guards over the top of my window that should allow me to keep my window open just a little bit without rain or wind getting into my vehicle. You can buy these OEM from Subaru, but I decided to buy basically an identical looking pair off of Amazon. Amazon has a couple different options for rain guards meant specifically for the Subaru Crosstrek like mine. And these rain guards are the polycarbonate ones. There are also vinyl rain guards, which probably wouldn't hold up as well. And interestingly, they were basically the same price. So I decided to get the polycarbonate ones because those are practically indestructible. The only problem with polycarbonate, or really any plastic, is that it does scratch. But as far as cracking or being UV resistant, polycarbonate is just the way to go. So that's what I'm going to install, and that's what I have in my trunk right now. So here in the trunk of my car, you can see the packaging that it came in. It just came in that long wooden box. The rain guards themselves are in this plastic bag. Obviously we have 4 of them, 2 for the front windows and 2 for the rear windows. And it also comes with this tool here that helps you install it, and a couple of fittings for the rear windows that are part of the installation process as well. Also in the box is this instruction manual, so you can flip through it and see here how to put it in. It's very detailed actually. It gives you all the steps and pictures for all of them. I don't know why the pictures aren't next to the steps, but whatever, it's easy enough to figure out. And it comes in a variety of languages as well. Also, the manufacturer of this set has a YouTube channel where they show you the installation process on a variety of cars, including the Subaru Crosstrek. And so I'll put a link to that video in the description below if you are wanting to install them yourself and check that out. It's definitely a much more thorough video than I could possibly do on my own. So this here is one of the rain guards for the front windows, and you can see it has this adhesive tape on the edge. And so this actually is an in-channel rain guard, so this actually fits inside the window channel and is supposed to stick to the surface. So because we're using adhesives, one of the most important things with adhesive is making sure that the surface that you're trying to stick that adhesive to is clean. So there are actually alcohol wipes that this comes with that will help you clean out the window channel. The installation itself does look very straightforward and simple. The only thing I don't really know is it didn't really give a temperature range where you could do this process. So I'm assuming that the adhesive that they're using is not that temperature sensitive. I don't know that for sure, but it's kind of an average 60-degree day here right now. I did have to wait an entire day for it to stop raining, but now that it has stopped raining, I do have to do a little drying on my window as well, but that's part of the cleaning process anyways. The first step in this process is to roll the window down because the rain guard fits into the channel around the window. The first step to installing anything with adhesive is to do a dry fit to make sure you understand how it's going to fit in place, and make sure that everything fits exactly how it's going to once you take that tape off the adhesive. Once you figure out how to get the part in place and attached properly, then it's time to take the part back out again and get ready to take the tape off of the adhesive so it can be stuck on permanently. One thing I want to mention really quick is that there are only 2 of these alcohol wipes, so I'm going to have to do both the front windows at the same time. Here I am cleaning out the channel, making sure that it is free from bits of dirt or grease that could interfere with the adhesive's ability to stick to the rubber on the inside of the channel. Okay, so I'm going to peel off this yellow tape off the adhesive, and we'll get to sticking it onto the windowsill. Alright, you can see that is installed now. So you're supposed to take this tool and stuff it in between the channel to press this window panel up against the rubber seal that you're sticking it to. Okay, so we're almost done now. The next step is to open and shut the window while pulling back on this thing. Okay, so I've encountered my first problem here. So when you roll up the window, it should go up all the way, but it's detecting that there's something in the way and rolling itself back down again. So I have to figure out how to stop that. Okay, so I see what I did. So you have to pull on this part here really pretty hard, as well as this part while the window is going up. And if you do that, then you can get the window to shut properly. Now that the window is shut, it's actually opened and shut several times. I can leave it to seal. I'm supposed to leave the window closed for the next 72 hours. The next step in this process is to repeat the exact same thing on the other side of the car. That one is wrestled into place. Now it's time to close the window. All right, the front windows are done and look pretty good. Now it's time for the back window. On the back windows, things are basically the same with one difference. There are these little metal clips here, and those have to be installed on the window at 2 locations on each side. I honestly don't 100% know why, but apparently they're important, and it seems like with this kit, it's pretty well put together, so I'm going to assume that they are correct and install them. These little metal fittings fit into the window seal itself, so you have to pull the window seal off the inside of the window and then slide half of this metal fitting inside and then push the top of the metal fitting up into the channel. This whole process was very confusing at first, but once I figured out how to do the first one, the rest of them actually worked out pretty easily. These 2 little clips are installed, so it's time for some alcohol wipes and cleaning. Stuffing the rear window guard into the window channel was actually much easier than on the front. However, getting things lined up perfectly was a little bit more challenging. Holding these rear window guards in place while rolling up the window was also a challenge because the Crosstrek does not have a rear auto up-down feature on the rear windows. So that meant I had to use one hand to roll up the window and one hand to keep things aligned. It took a couple of tries to get this gap up here perfectly even, but I think I got it now. This is what the complete installation looks like. You can see that right at the end here it's not even. There's a little bit more of a gap at that end. And that is the smallest I could figure out how to get that gap. It's not 100% perfect, but it is pretty close, and I don't think anyone would notice unless I pointed it out to them. After having installed these, I have to say this was a very easy installation. Probably one of the easiest things I've ever installed, and it is the first modification I've ever made to my Subaru Crosstrek. So I'm really excited about that. It should help keep the car cool during the summer, keep the rain out when it's warm and rainy, and it should allow me to bring in a lot more fresh air at night. So anyways, I'll put the link to that kit down in the description below so you can check that out, and thank you for watching.